A round of applause, please. The light of the lamp leads us from darkness towards light. The flame symbolizes wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge removes ignorance just as the light removes the darkness. May I request? The Faridabad MSME
ASSOCHAM की तरफ से इस क्रूशियल लीडरशिप प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर सभी प्रतिष्ठित उद्योगपतियों, स्पेसिफिकली MSME फ्रेटर्निटी से आए हुए हमारे मित्र और उद्यमियों और वक्ताओं का हार्दिक स्वागत है। मैं अपने विशिष्ट अतिथियों का भी स्वागत करना चाहता हूं। श्री आनंद मोहन शरण जी, IAS एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी इंडस्ट्रीज एंड कॉमर्स, श्री स्वतंत्र सिंघल चेयरमैन हरिदा, श्री संजीव मेहता जी GM HKRNL, श्री शशिकांत एडिशनल डायरेक्टर MSME डायरेक्टरेट, सुखचैन सिंह जी हरिदा से और बाकी सभी लोग। सर, शोभा बढ़ाने के लिए धन्यवाद। मैं शरण जी के बारे में कुछ अपना पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहता हूं। मैं 2021 अगस्त के अंदर एक रिक्वेस्ट लेके इनके पास गया था, इनके दफ्तर के अंदर। बड़ा अच्छा ही शुभ दिन था उस दिन। चाय के साथ साथ साहब ने मिठाई भी खिलाई और इसके अंदर हमने HSBTE के साथ एक MOU साइन किया। हमने कुछ स्टेनलेस स्टील का कोर्स इंट्रोड्यूस करना था। इतने छोटे टाइम के अंदर और अगले 3 महीने के अंदर वो जितने भी हरियाणा के पॉलिटेक्निक्स हैं उसके अंदर वो साहब की ब्लेसिंग से वो कोर्स इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ। ग्रेट लर्निंग, ओवरवेलमिंग एक्सपीरियंस, speed of taking action. This is what Mr. Sharan is. We are honored. माननीय उप मुख्यमंत्री श्री चौटाला जी व्यक्तिगत रूप से आज नहीं आ पाए। उनके इतने व्यस्त होने के बावजूद भी उन्होंने वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस से हमें संबोधित करने के लिए समय निकाला है। वो हमेशा उद्योग के मुद्दों के ऊपर बातचीत करने में और उनके समाधान करने में अग्रणी रहते हैं और ऐसे मंच में ऑलवेज आते हैं। ये हमारा तीसरा संवाद है। पहले उसके अंदर ही हम कुछ ऐसे MSME यूनिट्स को सम्मानित भी करते हैं जो जॉब क्रिएशन, सस्टेनेबिलिटी, इनोवेशन, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, स्टार्टअप और कैपेसिटी जैसे पहलुओं के ऊपर अग्रणी होते हैं। सर, फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ द ऑडियंस एंड टू सेट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट, आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर फ्यू हाइलाइट्स ऑफ द स्टेट। सबसे पहले तो आपको जान के खुशी होगी कि MSME नेशनल अवार्ड्स के अंदर फॉर द रिमार्केबल वर्क डन फॉर द MSME, हरियाणा हैज बीन रैंक्ड 3rd अमंग ऑल द स्टेट्स। हार्टिएस्ट कांग्रेचुलेशंस सर। एंड ऑल्सो फॉर द स्टेट बिजनेस रिफॉर्म्स इन लॉजिस्टिक्स, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, हरियाणा अगेन इज अमंग द टॉप अचीवर्स। वंस अगेन कांग्रेचुलेशंस सर। ग्रोथ हायर देन द नेशनल एवरेज, पर कैपिटा इज डबल ऑफ द नेशनल एवरेज। Infrastructure support, all of us know about it. Leading agri producer, rather second. Manufacturing, 2/3 of the cars, 50% tractors, 60% motorcycles, and 50% refrigerators that are made in Haryana, and 3rd largest software exporter in IT sector. So that is our Haryana. If you look at the budget of the FY24, the state vision: economy, health, education, rural development, roads, bridges, infra, energy, and agriculture. That speaks about the vision of the government. Few recent policies which are transparent, focused approach and indicates the commitment of the government, whether it is the HWP, agribusiness, textile, aerospace, data, solar, and so on and so forth. Sir, the industry is highly appreciative of the government. We applaud the vision, intent, and content. We also thank state government to include many of the ASSOCHAM's proposals in the state budget. And I must appreciate the support and positive guidance given to us from practically every officer in the Haryana state government. Coming to the MSME, the theme for the today, MSME की भूमिका और महत्व सभी को अच्छी तरीके से पता है। We all know the numbers: 6.3 करोड़, 30% GDP, 50% निर्यात, 12 करोड़ रोजगार। MSME के लिए बहुत कुछ किया जा रहा है, बहुत कुछ किया जा चुका है। हमारा राज्य खासकर हरियाणा बहुत ही सक्रिय कार्रवाई प्रोएक्टिव तरीके से करता है, अत्यंत प्रशंसनीय। डेडिकेटेड डायरेक्टरेट फॉर MSME इज एन इंडिकेशन ऑफ दिस कमिटमेंट। स्पेसिफिकली पद्मा फोकस venture capital, 40 clusters, 6,000 acres. It is going to help us in a big way for employment generation and investment. आपको ये जान के भी खुशी भी होगी कि जो उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशंस जो देश के अंदर करीब 27% ऑफ द टोटल MSME हैं, हरियाणा में वो नंबर उसका डबल है. So that shows that Haryana is doing much better for MSME as compared to other states in the country. Well, MSME sector has got certain inherent challenges. Economy of scale, being labor intensive, leading to the skill challenges, issues of automation, obsolete technology, compliance challenges, and the biggest one being lack of financial support, lack of financial expertise, and even to the extent that reluctance to avail. MSMEs, the first M, 95% micro, they are one-man armies. कुछ को तो ऐसे लगने लगता है परेशान होके कि शायद लोन लेने से धंधा ही ना खराब हो जाए. But we are very upbeat. I'm very upbeat that the newly launched Open Credit Enablement Network will change the scenario. To address and deliberate, we have 2 dedicated panel discussions post this inaugural session. Very pertinent topics: MSME financing incentives and ease of doing business, the first one. The second is the role of ESG and energy conservation for MSMEs. I believe that during the discussions, experts would be deliberating on how to enhance, number 1, creating awareness, जागरूकता पैदा करना, number 2, simple access, सरल पहुंच, number 3, immediate resolutions, तत्काल समाधान. I would like to share a small example of Faridabad Industries because ASSOCHAM Haryana is planning a district level Samvaad, starting with as a pilot with Faridabad district, for Faridabad district, to explore the specific challenges. For example, फरीदाबाद के अंदर करीब 31,000 यूनिट्स हैं, 5 से 6 लाख लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिलती है. बट हैरानी की बात यह है कि 65% ऑफ दीज 31,000 यूनिट आर इन नॉन अप्रूव्ड एरिया, मोस्टली माइक्रो लेवल. बाकी सब अप्रूवल हैं लेकिन जमीन अप्रूव नहीं है. आई वुड बी रिक्वेस्टिंग द गवर्नमेंट, if the regulation happens, they will be able to take subsidies, loans, and will be able to contribute more to economy. पावर के challenges सबके पास हैं, तो मैं सिंगल साहब से रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा था कि मोटिवेटेड मी ऑफलाइन इन ए बिग वे. जो भी एनर्जी के लिए सरकार काम कर रही है, ये जो माइक्रो हैं इनके लिए थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा फोकस करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा. Sir, we intend to co-create an innovative way forward, which will be submitted to your office subsequently. We firmly believe that the concerns can be resolved with your intervention, and these will further enhance ease of doing business, motivation, encouragement to invest more, and of course, social upliftment. ASSOCHAM strongly believe in holistic industrial development of industry, and ASSOCHAM Haryana Council is even more eager. We are committed to do the hand-holding with the government to bridge and crystallize the government intent into the successful ground realities in the areas like local skills development, entrepreneurship development, MSME finance, tourism development, investment promotion. Sir, we are here to serve. It will be our honor. We seek your guidance. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request Mr. S.T. Goyal, Co-Chairman, ASSOCHAM North Region Development Council and CEO, Reliance Model Economic Township, to please address the audience and give the industry perspective. Please put your hands together for Mr. S.T. Goyal.
Honorable Shri Additional Chief Secretary Sharan Saab, Singhal Saab, Sharma Ji, Jain Saab, Gadia Ji, other dignitaries of the dais, और सभी उद्यमी बंधु and dear friends. It's a pleasure to be there with you in the 3rd edition of this MSME Samvaad. In fact, जैसे इसका नाम है संवाद, तो मैं थोड़ा सोच रहा था कि जो हमारे पैनल डिस्कशन हो उसमें थोड़ा 2-way कम्युनिकेशन ज़्यादा किया जाए, so that the benefit is accrued to the participant. They can get their doubts cleared, their problems solved, and instead of this become a monologue. Of course, the starting session could be like that, but next 2 sessions में पैनल्स में मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप इसको थोड़ा इसमें जो है संवाद वाली बात को महत्वता देंगे. MSME, all of us know, plays a very important role in the development of economy, and the numbers are huge, large. All of us know those numbers. The growth is vital for the economy and balanced economic growth. The sector solves the problem of poverty and employment both. These two are very important elements in our development of economy. Sharma ji has talked a lot about the features of the Haryana for SMME, but there are few more salient features of the MSME industries in particular, which gives us a confidence that we are on a right path for investment at this moment of time, and economy is growing, and the confidence of the industries are very high at this time, such that if we make investment now, we will reap the benefits in future. In fact, post COVID era, the economy has boomed like anything, and we expect that this will continue for a couple of more years till the peak is reached and the stabilization is happened. In fact, we are almost completely non-affected by the global headwinds which are moving in all directions. So this is the resilience of our economy, which is backbone for industrial development. Some of the numbers or some of the data points which indicates like this what I am talking. Look at the registration of MSME in Haryana. More than 66,000 MSMEs registered in the financial year 21-22. Production index, PMI, manufacturing index, hit 31st month high at 58.7% in the May month. The highest ever GST collection took place in April of 1.87 lakh crore. At this rate, we are likely to cross 20 lakh crore collection in this financial year. Digital India has made a substantial progress with the availability of the broadband across the India. Currently, around 500 million broadband users exist in India, and digital payments have crossed almost 57% of the GDP, which is one of the topmost number in the world, that so many transactions are happening, crores of transactions are happening, and 57% of the GDP number is simply huge. Share of MSME exports in India is close to 45 to 50%. That also shows the strength of MSME as well as industries in particular. Some of the actions the government over the past couple of years has taken, and particularly in this budget, are also extremely encouraging for the industries and industrial scenario in India. The budget has provided a 42% increase in the MSME budget at 22,000 crore rupees, Government of India. The new criteria of MSME categorization has opened a lot of opportunities for the expansion of this sector already. The restriction on the global tenders is now at 200 crore rupees. That also gives a lot of opportunity to industries and as well as to MSMEs. Udyam registration for MSME is very easy process to now go through. Inclusion of retail and warehousing in the MSME effective 1st July 21 is also opening a gate for the same. And when the MSME progress to the next level, the tax benefit earlier used to be withdrawn. Now they have been extended for 3 years after even the upgradation. This is also a very good feature and encouraging feature for the industries to progress also. Otherwise, earlier industries used to make multiple units and to save some tax, but now at least 3-year protection has been granted. However, all said and done, the challenges still remains, and here we are here to look at those challenges, analyze them, and try to find out some solutions to those challenges for the industry. Some of the challenges are in the area of policy and regulations, for which ASSOCHAM keep working. We welcome your suggestions. Whatever they are there, we will take it up with the government. Government is very positive. They listen to us. They act on it. One example was already quoted by Sharma ji. I have also very high regard for the Haryana government, because I keep interacting with all the officials. They are extremely positive. they listen to our problem and also resolve. So we once again request all of you to come forward and give suggestion. Our secretary is very active secretariat, and we will do all the help for the industry. Intensity and competition is another, but it is the era where the innovation has to take place and the fittest to survive. So this is the area where you have to work. And the next biggest challenge is the infrastructure. The infrastructure plays a very important role in terms of road, power, water, connectivity. And my mind says, since we deal in the infrastructure, that more than the availability of infrastructure, maintenance of infrastructure is even more important. Because with due regard to the government agencies, they create good infrastructure in the beginning, but over a period of time, maintenance degrades. So therefore, the problem people face, when this was built, we will always think that when it was built, it is built good, but maintenance is also a very big challenge. So of course the actions are being initiated, but my suggestion in this front is, since the एक हाथ काम करने के बजाय यदि हम मल्टीपल हाथ इसमें लगा दें तो काम अच्छा और बेटर हो सकता है. और इसके लिए आई वेरी स्ट्रांगली बिलीव दैट द प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क डेवलपर्स कैन प्ले a very important role and already playing a very important role in bridging this gap of the quality as well as O&M part of it. बिकॉज इंसेंटिव्स तो गवर्नमेंट कहीं भी आप लगाएंगे, जहाँ जो जगह लगाया है आपने उस जगह के हिसाब से मिलेगा ही मिलेगा, परंतु उस जगह आपको अच्छी सुविधा मिले और वो अच्छी सुविधा कंटिन्यूसली मिले, ये बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. इसके लिए हमारी सोच है कि इसमें यदि प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क्स के डेवलपमेंट की तरफ थोड़ा और ध्यान दिया जाएगा तो ये हमारा जो प्रयास है MSME को डेवलप करने का वो ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा. ऑलरेडी 15-20 लाइसेंसेस यहाँ पे इशू हो चुके हैं, लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं. हमने रिलायंस की तरफ से एक कोशिश की है, मॉडल इकोनॉमिक टाउनशिप हम डेवलप कर रहे हैं. वो एक फर्स्ट ग्रीनफील्ड इंटीग्रेटेड स्मार्ट सिटी है, जो 100 शहर बनाने का सपना माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देखा था, बताया था 13-14 में. उसमें नए शहरों में ये एक पहला शहर है. मैं आपको कह सकता हूँ बड़े विश्वास के साथ कि ये इंटीग्रेटेड ग्रीनफील्ड स्मार्ट सिटी है जो हम डेवलप कर रहे हैं. द सिटी हैज़ एक्सीलेंट मल्टी मॉडल कनेक्टिविटी फ्रॉम ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ दिल्ली, NCR एंड अदर पार्ट्स, एक्सप्रेसवे, हाईवे, KMP एक्सप्रेसवे, हरियाणा ऑर्बिटल रोड कॉरिडोर, फरूखनगर रेल लिंक, एंड इट प्रोवाइड्स मल्टीपल कनेक्टिविटीज़. The two major elements of the infrastructure are highly created by us in a very different approach, is a power and water. On power front, we have installed the 220 kVA substation, GIS based, and complete infrastructure is underground, which is RMU and CCS based, wherein the default rate is extremely low. And similarly in water, we have provided the 100% our own water distribution system, and 50 MLD water is available today to the industries, dedicated for the 24/7 reaching to your site, which is a tap to drink. And the technology of WTP has been taken from Asahi, Japan. Some of the other features of the development which we are doing, which is very important, is in the form of sustainability. Because any development you do, it has to be sustainable long term, 10, 20, 100, 50 years. So there we have done some work like our Greenfield city is the first in North India to be rated green by IGBC in India. And I am very happy to say with you all, share with you all, that very soon within next 2 weeks, we are likely to get platinum rating from IGBC, which would be first of its kind of this size of industrial development in India. And on sustainability, I told you, I talked to you about the water, which UF-based technology from Asahi, Japan. 100% street lighting with LED and NB-IoT technology based. Smart control and command center. 100% availability of fiber from day one. These are few of the points which makes it different than others. Friends, it is not the end. We would like that such cities more and more come up. There is a huge opportunity. Apart from whatever the government has done, I believe the next big development is likely to be in that Hisar, where the government has lot of land and is working very hard. I hope Sharan Saab will throw some light on that in his development. 8,000-9,000 acres land government has. So connectivity will improve to the rural hinterland. It will reach, and this is one of the major agenda should be there.
Today, MSME, I can say about the power, renewable power. In case we are having surplus power in our state, then the industry can grow comfortably without any hitch, because this is the backbone of the industry, power. And at present, we are on the way to develop this surplus power in Haryana in the coming few years. As we had already had a meeting with our higher authorities, that we are, as everybody is knowing, that we are developing 800 megawatt thermal power plant at Yamunanagar, and on the other hand, we are also planning 800 megawatt thermal plant equivalent renewable energy. For that, we are regularly in touch with the SECI, Solar Corporation of India, and hope within 1.5 years the project will come up. That is about 1200 megawatt solar power plant in Haryana, that is along the Rajasthan border, where the land is surplus and unirrigated, unfertile land is available. So this is our target from the Hareda side, renewable energy. And on the other hand, to equalize this power, renewable power with the thermal power plant, we are tapping with the wind energy and hydro energy at the same time from other part of the India. So this is with the zero investment, about 60,000 crore investment from the outside of Haryana. And in this permanent employment, in our idea, 12,000 employment will be generated, indirect 30,000, there's a temporary employment generation, and farmers' income will be double. At present, there is about 10,000 to 20,000 per acre lease, and that will goes to the 40,000 to 50,000 lease. And land required is about 5,000 acre along the Rajasthan border, and the state developed. This is coming up within 1.5 years. This is our Hareda project with the coordination with the power utility. And we are having so many other projects for the small investors and the large. I can brief. At present, we are having only 10% power generation in renewable energy of the total consumption in Haryana. And by 2030, as per our Prime Minister's vision, we have to go for the 50% of the total consumption. At present, we are producing only 10% by 2030. No doubt, power utility has managed 49% from the other states. But in my view, we must concentrate to generate this renewable power in Haryana. We can't generate this power from the hydro project. As per the topography of our state, we cannot generate this power from the wind. As per the low-lying area, there's a less velocity of wind. And we can concentrate it on the biomass and the solar power. That we can do in the coming years. The planning we are also doing for the rooftop solar power project in rescue model also. And that you can see within a few months that scheme will come out. In biomass, we can go for the power projects. And power utilities may float this tender within 1 month or 2 months for the 100 megawatt biomass power plant. Biomass gas also CNG gas, bio-based on the cattle dung, cattle dung, we can produce gas, and that can be CBG or for the domestic purpose that we can compact and use in the industries also. I want that industry should get surplus power. In case we will have surplus power, then the industry will grow. Definitely the industry will grow. And for the small investors, we can go for the KUSUM scheme that the Prime Minister of India has launched a KUSUM scheme. In that, investor can invest up to 500 kilowatt to 2 megawatt with the help of farmers. Farmers can lease out their land and the investor can invest in that. This pump scheme is also there, grid connected pump, solar, and for small investor, we can go for the biogas plants. That will just need 3-4 lakhs rupees in the beginning for the small investor. With the 3-4 lakhs investment, they can start their business and then they can grow at the later stage. And the energy efficient buildings we can plan. In that we can save the energy by planning architecture from the India, not from the Europe. Because in Europe, architect is planning as in a boxed building. No ventilation, no light. But Indian architects are planning with the lights, natural light and the proper ventilation. So we should go for that type of buildings, energy efficient building. And we also go for the energy audit of our industries so that we can save the energy. We are free to utilize as much as energy we establish their renewable energy plant with a very small investment or with the help of MSME. With a small investment, they can grow and they can invest. Thank you very much.
Sir, Honorable Deputy CM Shri Dushyant Chautala ji. Sir, please accept our sincerest gratitude for always coming forward on such platforms to interact and address our issues of industry. Sir, despite of a busy schedule and sudden inability to join personally, we are really grateful, overwhelmed of your gesture to address through video conferencing. Sir, it speaks about your commitment and concern for the industry. Thank you very much, sir.
A very good morning and thank you, Sharmaji, for inviting me for the third time. It's always been a pleasure to interact with the industry. Sorry for today I could not connect physically, but I was listening to the earlier two speakers, Mr. Goel and Mr. Satendra Kumarji, and I have seen how industrialists and the government have worked hand on hand to take India as well as the state forward. It's always been a pleasure interacting with all who have invested their faith in the state, and I think Haryana has kept up all what was required in the past, and hopefully we all work together to move the state on a progressive front as well as to develop more arenas for new technologies, new innovations to come onto Haryana and be a part for development. I would like to thank our ACS Anand Sharanji for being there in proper coordination with the industries, and I think that has helped us to get approximately 34,000 crores of investment in the state of Haryana in past 3.5 years. It's always been a pleasure to get inputs from ASSOCHAM and all members associated to your unit, and I think during COVID also, I remember the first virtual interaction which took place helped us to address the issues which industries were facing, and I think those issues helped us to guide new policies in the state of Haryana and how we could work on those policies to uplift industries and get more innovative ideas. I think It's been for the first time in last 3 years, we have more than 10 policies of different sectors published in the state of Haryana. Recently, we have published the Atmanirbhar textile policy, and that will be a groundbreaking point to invite more industries which are related to textile, and not only limiting us to creation of thread or to finalization shirt, but to get all other alternatives which are related to textiles. Whereas I was listening to Mr. Satendra Kumar Singhal on renewable energy, I think we have focused on that. There had been some problems faced by the industries onto getting power from far sources, but I think we have addressed that recently, and I think in the future, the renewable energy on working of industry is going to be one big aspect for industries to decrease their power load on thermal or any other fossil fuel based power, whereas help us to create more power on renewable producers. I've heard, I think Nishant gave us few inputs before on last when we sat on the Samvad, and it was a pleasure where people from producing renewable energy-based motor vehicles helped Haryana. We have recently passed, I think, 3 more new projects in the state which are going to start production in the coming 2 years on based on renewable energy. I would just like to touch on some aspects. MSME has always been a big integrated part where India has grown. I think our 40% of our GDP is now based on MSMEs. Our 45% of manufacturing done in the country is based on MSMEs, and MSMEs provide 11 crores of employment to our citizens. I think that is one aspect that we need to focus. And as Mr. Goyal was speaking, where Reliance has done the model economic township. I think model economic township is one big industrial project. But now where we have published the schemes for the Padma Yojana, Padma scheme, I think we'll have more smaller, similar to METs being developed all around the countries where industries can collaborate, get land up to 25 acres to 100 acres, and then start developing industrial parks. And we'll see growth onto that aspect where we'll collaborate one working culture to one area. And I think once we do that, it is going to be one achievement where similar produce come onto one district. And I think Prime Minister's idea on one district, one product, Haryana has taken a step further, where in Padma Yojana, we have done one block, one product. And there have been blocks which have been for multiple products. I was recently taking out data for Bhiwani, where everybody said it's an industrial backward district, but we have recently found out that Bhiwani has the largest number of fiber textiles being produced in the country. And all your PPP kits, approximately 60 to 70% were produced from district Bhiwani. So these are something that we need to organize, and once we start organizing, providing infrastructure to support their packaging, to support their exports, to support their logistics, I think we will change the whole scenario for mobility and support for acceleration of MSMEs. I would just like to add on to that we recently in our budget started a new fund which was based on capital of 200 crore rupees, where the state will invest in an idea. And I think no other state has ever thought of doing that. We'll spend 100 crores onto all young entrepreneurs from our states who come out with the innovative ideas, and we'll have members from the industries to be on the board to decide where they want to support and how they can support that idea to grow and how much support can be provided. On the other hand, for women entrepreneurs and scheduled caste entrepreneurs, we have a corpus of 100 crore additional. So it is going to be one big step for industries to look onto not bank financing, but financing where government can invest, and it is a win-win situation, because if government is investing, then government will support furthermore. On addition, if that project comes under Padma on a D block, then we support 85% of infrastructure cost. If it's on a C block, we provide 75% of infrastructure cost. If it's on a B block, we provide 60% of infrastructure cost to develop all your basic amenities in that Padma Industrial Park. And I think that support is the most required by the industry today. If that support is given, because we have faced problems specifically onto manufacturing units of textile or manufacturing units where cutting takes place. There is a lot of expenditure by the government time on time to put better effluent treatment plants. But now for Panipat we are going to take up, it's my promise that we are going to get Panipat onto a zero liquid discharge system, whereas no discharge is going to go into our drains or hurt our environment, but also support industry for better management of water. And as Mr. Goyal was saying, MET has done that. We will love to see that model sometime. Me and Sharan Saab would love to visit and see how grey water management is done in MET. Because at the end of the day, environment is our prime focus, and I think jointly we should take a step forward. All the industries joined us today should also support the government with better ideas, because most of the time we are looking on to ideas which are adopted with our neighbors or within our country. But there can be an idea picked up from a country where nobody has mobilized or no papers have been researched or uploaded. But yes, industry can put across the ideas, and we would love to adopt those ideas. And Kharkhoda being that one point, I think it is going to be a game changer, where Maruti is coming up with a 800-acre unit there. Suzuki is coming up with a 100-acre plant there to produce bikes. And recently statements by companies like Benz, Mercedes-Benz and others, where now electric vehicles are going to be one big manufacturing aspect. So we have to focus on that. But yes, with electric cars or electric vehicles coming in, one challenge is there, and I think we should discuss that today also, because environment is our prime focus. That post 5 years or 7 years, the disposal of battery is going to be one big challenge. And that is an environmental concern. I think burning fossil fuels today to provide power, and then after 5 years, then we have that bank of batteries which are lying vacant to be disposed, needs to be worked on. I would like to add that all our policies have special R&D focuses, where industry can apply for benefits on research and development, and government supports from 3 to 5 crore rupees on projects where research has been taken up. In addition, there have been support for universities also to start incubation center. But if any industry comes up to the government and says we want to put an incubation within our own industry, we would love to support you with that, because incubation, if developed within an environment where work culture is there, will also help the new generation to take up new ideas. I would like to again thank ASSOCHAM for putting up the 3rd edition of this MSME SAMVAAD, and hopefully this edition keeps growing, more idea keeps coming, and I would request the whole ASSOCHAM body of Haryana that don't restrict it to a yearly agenda, but we can have it bi-yearly or quarterly, where new points, new subjects have been addressed to, new ideas come up, and your views to the government also is supplied on a timely basis, where the government can act upon and address those issues. And I think our single window system of 45 days has helped Haryana to get better onto efficiency and get bigger investments to our state. And I have seen, I was going through the list of all projects approved in last 3.5 years. It varies. It varies from small projects to big projects, and especially now where industry has adopted the new aviation policy, where aero defense production has been a focus. We have seen industry applying for now starting up defense production in the state of Haryana. We have already approved 7 projects within our state for defense production, and the 8th one recently came up, Sharmaji, from your company, Jindal, where you're going to start production of weapons in Hisar. And I think Hisar Aviation Base, where we have 7,200 acres of land, just to support the aviation culture as well as defense production within the state. NSIDC and Government of Haryana have done an MOU. They are going to invest initially 1,800 crores to take up phase 1 of this whole aviation integrated manufacturing cluster at Hisar. And I think that basic infrastructure will be developed within next 1.5 years. And after 1.5 years, I hope to see that the west eastern part of the state of Haryana will also become as industrialized as we have seen Gurgaon or Faridabad or Palwal or Rewari or Sonipat grow. Yes, there has to be more investors that new ideas come onto, and as well as I think I can see there have been people from various kinds of industries, and hopefully we can give you better facilities in the state of Haryana.
Sir, subsequent to the inaugural session, we have 2 dedicated panel discussions on 2 very, very pertinent topics for the today's context.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us virtually. The government's focus on sustainability and the support for innovation will give a big boost to MSMEs in the state. So we request you to please stay on with us virtually, as we would like to proceed during this time. So I request you to please stay on. Right. Let's move on for the felicitation, for which I would request Shri Anand Mohan Chandji, IAS, Mr. Aditya Kohli, who will be receiving the award for Allied Medical Limited, the MSME of the Year in Manufacturing.
We would be handing over these prizes.
Thank you.
This MSME of the Year 2023 Innovation, and the award goes to Multi Decor India Private Limited. We request Mr. Pradeep Chaudhary and Mr. R.C. Chaudhary, the directors of Multi Decor India Private Limited, to please come on stage to receive this recognition.
Sir.
The next category is MSME of the Year Services, and the award goes.
Sir, look here. Wait.
The best STA for energy conservation goes to the Haryana Renewable Energy Development Agency. We already have on stage and the award for the best STA for energy conservation goes to Haryana Renewable Energy Development Agency. The next award is the next category is Tech S.
respected Shri Dushyant Chautala ji, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Haryana, and also the Industries Minister, Haryana, who just addressed you in a virtual mode. Shri Vijay Sharma ji, Shri S.P. Goyal ji, Swatantra Singhal ji, Shri Jyoti Prakash Garya ji, Shri P.K. Jain ji, my colleagues from the Haryana government, very enterprising entrepreneurs in the MSME sector from the state of Haryana, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to be present here on this occasion, as this is the third edition of the MSME SAMVAAD being hosted by the ASSOCHAM. We were fortunate to hear Honorable Deputy Chief Minister with his words of not just wisdom, but the practical approach which he brings to his work. Very recently, around a couple of months back, we had the National Conference of the Chief Secretaries of all these states, presided over by our Honorable Chief Prime Minister of India. It was a 2-day session. It was divided into 6 verticals, where around an hour of presentation and next 1 hour of question answers and interventions, including the Prime Minister himself. And one of the verticals was devoted to MSME. I am mentioning this just to stress upon the fact that MSME, or the performance or the growth of MSME sector, is so very vital to the growth of the national economy, to the growth of the state economy. The specific topic on the MSME was the formalization of the MSME and bridging of the credit gap for the MSME. I think these 2 things are the crux for the future of MSME. MSME, no doubt, is the backbone of the Indian economy. As the Honorable Deputy CM just mentioned it to you, the kind of MSME ecosystem or the developmental ecosystem which has been provided for the MSME sector in Haryana by the government of Haryana. We have a plethora of schemes incentivizing MSME sector. MSME sector in general, covered by our MSME policy, HEAP policy, but then the thrust area sector policies and schemes. The number of schemes, the number of policies which we have, I think it would be the highest by any state in our country. Recently, during the budget for the year 23-24. The Honorable CM and the Deputy CM. I think we had rounds of discussions that what all can be done for the MSME sector. And again, multiple incentives or multiple focus areas were identified for the MSME, starting with MSME manufacturing and innovation policy, which has been announced. Then the medical device policy, the electronic toys policy. And one of the challenges which was seen for the MSME sector, each one of us sitting here, what do we face as a major challenge for the MSMEs? It is the easy and affordable space for any entrepreneur or the new entrepreneur in the MSME sector. The land prices have gone up. So the government has come out with an announcement of providing easy and affordable space by way of flatted factories, wherein it would be available on lease or a rental mode, wherein the cost of the land would not be inbuilt while charging the rent or the lease, so as to ensure an MSME entrepreneur who's most of the time young, most of the time a new entrepreneur, but full of enthusiasm. And space is a major constraint. To overcome that, this announcement has been made. Most of you know the ease of doing business. It covers, encompasses everyone, not just the MSME, but all kinds of entrepreneurs. Haryana is one of the 3 top achievers as per the latest rankings under the EOD. The credit goes to the government, the leadership, which egged us on to have a huge paradigm shift in the thinking and the working of the government. We do have a plethora of schemes, as I said. There are always implementation issues in that. But I think in the last 9 months I've been there on various forums, various platforms. When we interact with you all, a lot of issues come up which are more related with the implementation. A lot of clarities are needed. It's an ever-evolving process with one underlying theme. Each government initiative, the end point is that the benefit should go to the entrepreneurs, so as to develop a very robust ecosystem for the MSME entrepreneurship. I think in the last 9 months, when I have been working closely with the entrepreneurs, what we see is quite a few gray areas where the clarity is not there. or there is a difference of opinion on the interpretation of various clauses of different schemes. We have sat together, we have had stakeholder consultations, and we come up with solutions. What I'm trying to say is the dialogue, the accessibility of the government to the various stakeholders. And that is where these platforms, these organizations like ASSOCHAM, they come and they play a very useful and an important role. Of course, when we come up with new schemes and policies, we do take your inputs. We do take you into confidence for stakeholder consultations. But down the line, formation or formulation of a document, not a very big thing. The real ground level issues come up during implementation. And these kind of dialogues, as Mr. Goel and Mr. Sharma said, असली संवाद तो यही है। इस जो आज एक संवाद हो रहा है, माननीय उप मुख्यमंत्री जी ने भी कहा, आप लोगों के जरिए जो इश्यूज हम तक पहुंचते हैं, इतनी proactive leadership we have, at least in the present day I can vouch, the Deputy CM and the CM. Any issues which we flag to them, at the earliest they are resolved, and the kind of enthusiasm which is shown by the government. Ever evolving, ever changing to the needs and suitability, or I would just use a word, the felt need of the industry that is being taken care of. From this platform today, I would just mention a few things and request a few things, especially in the context of the MSME. A new age initiatives, TREADS platform, most of you would be aware of it, would be eager to take advantage of it. Government of Haryana has already initiated the process to onboard the TREADS platform. We already have the approval, formalities are being done, and very soon, to ensure to overcome the liquidity crunch, this onboarding on the TREADS platform would be done. Similarly, Deputy CM mentioned about the venture capital fund. Establishing the venture capital fund is one aspect, but unrolling the venture capital fund, one in general, two, a recent CM announcement or the budget announcement, I would say, especially focusing on the women entrepreneurs and the weaker sections or the reserved sections of our society. We have partnered with SEBI so as to ensure that the real assessment of the entrepreneurs is done when we reach out to them. Trustworthy business ideas, but they lack collateral securities. So this platform of the Government of India, we had already started the process to partner with. Two other things which I would like to mention. ONDC platform, that is the open network for digital commerce. It is the in thing today, the digital platforms, digital commerce. Haryana government has taken an initiative. Of late, in the last couple of years, especially the post-COVID, it has seen a lot of MSMEs coming out with their public issues. Listing of MSMEs on the NSE or similar other platforms. So we are in the process of ensuring an institutional framework for hand-holding them. I won't talk individually about the schemes. I'm sure in one of the sessions our additional directors is here who would go into it. Two schemes I would specifically like to mention. One, the Padma, which was touched upon by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, and RAMP. Padma, it is for the acceleration of the MSME sector in our state. Honorable Prime Minister of India launched the One District, One Product, which is highly successful, which is going to touch the smallest of the entrepreneurs in our country. Haryana government went a step ahead and said one block, one product. But instead of one product, we have gone into, at times, at places, more than a product. Because in Haryana, the products are slightly more diversified at the block level. We are now at the thrust of implementing this Padma scheme. All the groundwork, all the formalities, all the government approvals are in place. This is one area where the MSME entrepreneurs can come up. Industries Minister, Honorable Deputy CM, touched upon the land issue. Haryana, a small state. Land is always in a short supply. I mentioned earlier, easy and cheap affordability of space for a new entrepreneur or for a MSME entrepreneur is a matter of concern. In the next 1 month or so, we are already in the process of identifying chunks of land ranging from 50 to 100 acres to 2,000-3,000 acres of land in at least 40 to 50 places spread all over the state. The land acquisition policies, whether it's the e-Bhumi portal, the land pooling policies, Government of Haryana has come up with very robust and easy policies for land acquisition. All of us know, not an easy task. So farmer-friendly policies we have come up, and in the next 1 month or so, after identifying not specific pieces of land, quantums of land and the locations of the land, we'll be putting it up in the public domain so as to ensure in the next 6 months to a year, we have parcels of land at different places, I would say all over Haryana. which would give a major boost to the MSME sector. Last, the ramp. Government of India supported raising and accelerating MSME performance program. We have already started work on this. The first task is to formulate a state implementation plan, for which the work has started. We are planning in the next 3 to 5 months. This plan should be in place, but this is where we are going in for a sample survey of the industries, MSME industries in our state. Initially, we had planned a complete survey of each and every MSME. It wasn't very feasible, so we thought a sample survey, and based on that sample survey, we'll have n number of stakeholder consultations, seminars like this, wherein we would be requesting your participation and active cooperation from your side. Each of the industrial associations, platforms like ASSOCHAM, Faridabad Industries, all over the state. This state implementation program would form a backbone for all kinds of plannings in future, not by only the state government, even by the Government of India. It is a Government of India sponsored, facilitated program where the state governments are going to come in. So with these words, thank you once again for having provided a platform to us where we can not showcase but put forth in front of you, solicit your views, and let me assure you from this platform, Haryana government is always ready to hear your views individually or collectively, and I assure you that your issues would be addressed so as to ensure a very smooth and a robust ecosystem for the fast development of the MSME sector in our state. Thank you once.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request Mr. Vijay Sharma and Mr. S.D. Goyal to please present the growth of MSMEs in the state. Give us your opinion, your views about the direction the growth of MSMEs will take from here on. Our gentleman there has raised his hand.
मैं विनोद बंसल, जनरल सेक्रेटरी स्वरूपपुर इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया फरीदाबाद से, जो कि न केवल फरीदाबाद का, हरियाणा का सबसे बड़ा नॉन कन्फर्मिंग सेक्टर है। उसकी वजह से बहुत दिनों से ये पॉलिसी आपके पास, आपकी सरकार के पास पेंडिंग पड़ी है। आप लोगों ने उसका सर्वे भी करा चुके हैं, जिसमें आपने पॉलिसी बनाई कि 70% से ज़्यादा जिस एरिया के अंदर इंडस्ट्री है उस इंडस्ट्री एरिया को घोषित। सर उसको प्लीज़ जल्द से जल्द करें। उसकी वजह से बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत आ रही है। जो MSME की जितनी भी सुविधा है नॉन कन्फर्मिंग के अंदर वो नहीं दी जाती, जिसके अकॉर्डिंग 50% रिबेट मिलती है, लेकिन मेरा 2 बार रिजेक्ट हो गया क्योंकि मेरा वो लिस्टेड नहीं था सरूरपुर के अंदर। दूसरा सर उसकी वजह से दूसरी और भी बहुत सारी है कि पॉल्यूशन से रिलेटेड हमें NOC नहीं मिलती हैं, दूसरी चीज़ें नहीं मिलती हैं। तो आप सब इंडस्ट्री से ACS हैं, आपके पास भी हम और माननीय डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर जी के पास भी हम पर्सनली मिल के आए हैं। आपसे निवेदन है, ये 20 साल से ये मुद्दा चला आ रहा है और गोयल साहब ने भी अपने फर्स्ट संबोधन में इसका मुद्दे को उठाया है, तो प्लीज़ इसको जल्द से जल्द इसे सॉल्व करें जिससे कि इंडस्ट्री को आए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
जो नॉन कन्फर्मिंग एरियाज में हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, स्पेशली द MSME सेक्टर, फर्स्ट राउंड ऑफ सर्वे हो चुका है। 5 या 6 शहर हरियाणा में जहाँ ये दिक्कत ज़्यादा है। पायलट प्रोजेक्ट यमुनानगर लिया गया था, जहाँ बहुत ही डिटेल्ड सर्वे करा गया है। बेस्ड ऑन द डिटेल्ड सर्वे we are in the process of finalizing the policy, जो कि फिर सभी शहरों के ऊपर लागू होगी। इतना सिंपल इशू नहीं है, इसलिए समय भी लग रहा है। As I said, इसका alternate solution भी ढूंढ रहे हैं। I can only assure you, issues हैं, litigation issues हैं, there are lot of issues involved in it. आप केवल अपनी तरफ से yes it is an issue, we accept it, we recognize it, so let us keep it there.
Thank you so much, sir. We move on to the next question, and this will be, I think, the last question we take. We already run about time.
No, we can take a couple more.
Okay.
Quick.
Right.
Just flag
Please
the
keep your
issue.
questions very short.
Just flag the issues.
Myself, advisory consultant for MSME and startup companies actually. Could you tell us what Haryana government is providing a special subsidy for a GI product which is basmati rice? So do you have any provision in your policy for this special subsidy for issuing for the basmati rice for the exporters basically?
Be in a position to comment upon that. For the rice producers, GI products, I think Agriculture Department is working on it. I was present in one of the meetings where this thought process was going on. But 3 things which I didn't mention there. One is a startup policy wherein a plethora of incentives are envisaged. I think in the next 1 month's time, we should be with the public. Second, for the exporters on the freight incentive, revamped, new policies in place. Very, very shortly, we should be in the public domain with our freight incentive policy.
And I'm visiting rental equipment industry, and just wanted to check that MSME dispute resolution is taking lots of time for the clear cases where we have provided the equipments for rental, and all the bills and everything have been settled. All GST paid, everything has been acknowledged by the client, ledgers have been filed, but the payments and the settlement in court is taking lots of time.
Very good point raised. These specifics in my speech there. It is one of the most important aspects for the future or the growth of the MSME, the dispute redressal mechanism. The facilitation councils came up yes, they were taking time. Only yesterday we got the approval. We are in the process of notifying district level grievance redressal facilitation council in Haryana, where any dispute less than 20 lakhs would be resolved at the district level. We already have the approval of the government yesterday. I think very, very shortly those district level councils would be notified. I think that would take care of the speedy redressal and the local level redressal. You may not have to travel to Chandigarh.
Mr. Bharke Das, Director USDB, it's a non-profit company. So my question is, the future of MSME sector is very good, but उसके साथ साथ कुछ MSME हर साल बंद हो रहा है. क्या हम कुछ डेटाबेस बना रहे हैं या उसको स्टडी कर रहे हैं ताकि कुछ हम रिमेडियल मेजर्स बंद ना होने के ले सकें?
Very key कि MSMEs बंद तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं होनी चाहिए, बट अगर कोई किसी कारणवश बंद होने की कगार पे है या बंद हो चुकी है, if somebody can take a lead, some platform, some association comes up with specific issues, we are more than keen to facilitate, to rejuvenate them. क्या मदद हो सकती है? We will go out of the way to handhold those issues. But the onus is on you कि कोई platform उनको हमारे पास तक ला सके. Because for a government to reach out to individually is very difficult. मालूम भी नहीं चलता. So platforms or associations like you can bring them to us. We'll be more than keen to resolve those issues.
Private limited, sir. Our company is MSME company. We face a lot of issues like financial issues. That is very common for MSME company. We working with the big players, the big hospitals. They pay back. To us is it took too much time. Like 4 months, 5 months. So because the cash flow is play a vital role. In MSME company, unless until they will not get the cash flow. The low productivity is also one of the factors. So as a government, this is our suggestion, sir.
One, the credit flow. Second, the dispute mechanism. Third, the various platforms, as I said, ONDC and the TREDS and the CGTMSE. So depends what kind of issues you are facing or different MSMEs are facing. These three can be classified into, and we'll be more than happy if you come up to us with specific issues. We will surely handhold on all these three kind of.
I have a manufacturing unit at Bahrampur Khandsa Road, and that is amongst the industrial area in Gurgaon, and we have been as a area we have been growing quite well. Aaju baaju ke sare companies, but one of the thing is that road facilities are not good there. If someone is over here from that area, they would be able to relate with me. वहाँ का रास्ता है ना, रास्ता तो ठीक है लेकिन ड्रेनेज फैसिलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा खराब है. And like the problem we face is whenever there is a rainfall, my guys are stuck for 2 hours in a traffic.
Just take a 30 seconds more. उसके बाद not only about staff because they have a car and bus facility etc. but जो labor है that I need to run the manufacturing industry. बारिश हो गई, I get a shortfall of 50%. In practical, it's an opportunity loss for me.
See, Betty, you're a young boy. You raised a very pertinent question and something which you have to think about it. Everything doesn't flow from the government. It is not a institutional industrial area. Yes, it is a conglomerate of industries. The issue which you are raising falls under the purview of your local self-government. आप लोगों के पास म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन है, आप लोग समय समय पे अपने काउंसलर्स भी चुनते हैं, इलेक्ट करते हैं. It comes under the domain of the municipal corporation. Raise these issues there. We are supporting you as the industry is part of the government. You are young boys, young entrepreneurs. Form an association. Go to your municipal corporation. Funds are not an issue there. Just the focus. Follow up over there. And I'm sure these issues of roads, your drainages, your sewers would be sorted out. But on our side, we would surely fly.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने हमें थोड़ा सा और मोटिवेट किया है कि ऐसे संवाद जो है सालाना नहीं होने चाहिए. जैसे मैंने अपनी ओपनिंग में बोला था कि वी वांट टू स्टार्ट सच संवाद ऑन द ग्राउंड लेवल एंड द डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल. So sir, first such pilot we want to start from your very close to your heart territory, Faridabad area. So we will be requesting you, and then based on the learnings, we will further roll it out to other districts.
इसमें रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा, इट्स अ वेरी गुड इनिशिएटिव. जब कभी इस प्रकार के प्रोग्राम्स हों, मे बी फॉर 15-20 मिनट्स एक हमारे एमएसएमई महकमे की वेरी टू द पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन रख दें, जिससे कि आपके ऑडियंस को एक मालूम चल सके कि सरकार की कितनी इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स या क्या क्या इनिशिएटिव्स हैं जिसका आपकी ऑडियंस फायदा उठा सकती है. सो दैट वुड बी स्लाइटली मोर meaningful. That is my advice. More so जब आप डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे ये करें.
जरूर सर. और सर दूसरा आपने सही कहा कि हर जगह सरकार नहीं पहुंच पाती है, तो सर एसोचैम जैसी संस्था यही ब्रिजिंग का काम करती है. और खासकर मैं तो हरियाणा एसोचैम का सेक्रेटेरिएट है, चांदला जी बैठे हैं, अंशुम है, ये दो यंग लेडीज आर ऑल्सो देयर, प्रियंका एंड काजल. So all such issues which may look to be specific, but I am very sure that these may not be specific to a particular unit. These must be all across. So I strongly request that ASSOCHAM Haryana is very eager, and we will take it through specifically, since we are going to have the district level programs going on. So we welcome you to be in touch with Anshum. Please take the lead subsequently, and we take it forward. Thank you very much.
Before we disperse about this answer, since I am a finance person and I work with a lot of MSMEs based out of all over the country, and I act as an intermediary between the MSME companies and the banks and the financial institutions who are giving the funding. So I see the both sides of the table. So I just like to present some report card about hits and misses and where we actually are standing in terms of all our numbers and everything, sir. In terms of the overall requirements, sir, near about whatever is the requirement of MSME, 47% of the MSME requirements cannot be met through the formal banking channels. जैसे भाई साहब ने कहा कि या तो लैंड मॉर्गेजेबल नहीं है, या फैक्ट्री मॉर्गेजेबल नहीं है, या due to any sort of practical reasons, those 50% of the demand is not met. Out of the 50% of the demand which can be met, out of that only 22% of the demand is practically getting met right now. So near about 28% of the demand is still not met, apart from all the other issues that we are taking care, sir. This is the status of the Haryana numbers, sir. In terms of, if you see, the good point is that in terms of 21 to 22, the credit highest offtake, we are the second largest state after Gujarat with 30% credit offtake in terms of where our credit outstanding is around 3,72 lakh crores, sir. This is about Haryana, and which was approximately hovering हमारी से क्रेडिट ग्रोथ जो 10 से 12% हुआ करती थी, सर. इस साल हमारे पास में 30% की क्रेडिट ग्रोथ रही है. एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द MSME नंबर्स सर, MSME नंबर्स के अंदर में हम लोग लगभग 1,16,000 करोड़ का हमारा MSME के अंदर में नंबर है, और अप्रॉक्सीमेटली अराउंड इफ यू सी दैट द नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स विच आर देयर इन टर्म्स ऑफ अदर विच के अंदर से 40-45 हज़ार करते करते लगभग 1,16,85,000 यूनिट है सर, जिसके अंदर अपन ने फंड का माने जो NPA के नंबर की बात कर रहे थे सर, वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट कि भाईजान ने माने भाई साहब ने कहा कि सर जितने भी NPA नंबर्स हैं व्हाट आर वी ट्राइंग टू डोनेट सर, लगभग 85,000 माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल सेक्टर की यूनिट्स है खाली बेस्ड आउट ऑफ हरियाणा, जो कि आज के दिन NPA है, और अप्रॉक्सीमेटली अराउंड 4,284 करोड़ का एज ऑन डेट एज वी स्पीक देयर इज एन NPA इन हरियाणा। तो अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 85,000 यूनिट सर आज के दिन में, अभी एक यूनिट के अंदर अभी 1 या 2 जन भी रहते हैं, सो ये 4,000 करोड़ का हमारे पास में ओनली दी हरियाणा स्टेट के अंदर सर हमारे पास में यूनिट अवेलेबल है सर। सर मैं एक नंबर देख रहा था विच इज़ वेरी वेरी सरप्राइजिंग सर, एक ना ये क्राइम, ये हमारे स्टैटिस्टिक्स का रिपोर्ट है सर, कि हम लोग किसानों की समस्या को हाईलाइट करते हैं। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि सर किसानों की समस्या को हाईलाइट, थैंक यू ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ASSOCHAM, I extend my heartfelt gratitude and propose a hearty vote of thanks to the Deputy CM who came online with us in spite of all the hectic schedule that he had, and also Anandji and Shankar sir, whichever that you made out of this. We are truly enlightened by your presence and enriched by your wisdom. Your invaluable guidance and insights serve as a beacon of inspiration for the MSME in Haryana, sir. By imparting your steadfast support and commitment to the growth of Haryana's MSME is truly commendable, sir, and lays a strong foundation for their success. Apart from wherever I end, sir, I would like to offer my heartfelt and congratulations to all the winners of the Haryana MSME Excellence Recognition Awards. Your outstanding achievements and unwavering commitment to excellence have established you as the true pioneers in the MSME sector. Definitely, this recognition is a testament to your vision, hard work, and relentless pursuit of your success. Your whatever the awards that you have received, it not only bring honor to your organizations, but also contribute to the overall growth and prosperity of the entire MSME sector of Haryana and the country at large. I would like to express my gratitude to all the distinguished invitees from the state government, expert, panelists, industry representatives, panel moderators, and friends from the press and media for their valuable presence and contribution. Your insight and participation have enhanced the quality and significance of this conference, sir. I would like to make sure that the special thanks to all the participants here today for their active engagement and enthusiastic participation. Once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks to each one of you for your presence, support, and involvement in this remarkable event. Together, let us unite in our shared vision to nurture and empower these enterprises, unlock their full potential, and drive sustainable growth by harnessing the immense talent, innovation, and resilience of our MSME. We have the power to shape a brighter future for our state and make significant contribution to our great nation. Let us embark on this transformative journey. Thank you so much sir, for making this up. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
मैम आप इस तरफ आ जाओ।
A round of applause for all the award winners. Heartiest congratulations.
Everyone, please declare. Wait. Thank you.
Sent a small token of our appreciation to Mr. Manilal. I will request Mr. Plantu Sri Shashi Kant, Additional Director, Directorate of MSME, Government of Haryana.